The music genre of anime nowadays mostly focuses on the high school music club and competitions part, which I believe is pretty normal because they want their viewers to relate to the characters, because most people who will be watching these shows are probably not gonna be once in a 50-year music prodigies. They're probably gonna be normal people whose only exposure to music is through their school clubs. And honestly, as someone who considers music to be one of his favorite genres, I do enjoy these high school club music animes. But it has been quite some time since I have seen a music anime tackle such deep adult and mature issues while also following the usual music anime cliche. But what makes me angry is the fact that no one is talking about it and it is insanely underwatched. So if you're a fan of animes like Beck, Nana and Your Lie in April, this anime is definitely for you. And even if you're not, trust me, give this a try. There's something magical about this. Let's start. Now, before we talk about the story, the characters, let's talk briefly about its manga. Initially, before starting the series, I thought that this was probably just some new manga which was getting an anime adaptation to increase its audience, like most mangas and light novels nowadays do. And we might get a second season if people like and watched a lot, which clearly they aren't. So I just googled the manga and oh, it has been going on since 2009 and has 27 volumes and won an award for the best shonen in the Kodansha Awards in 2013. This anime has been long overdue. Those Snow White notes or Mashiro no Oto basically follows one simple rule of music: to find one's true sound, and it follows up its story based around that plot. The main character Sawamura Setsu, a young talented up-and-coming shamisen player, has lost his one and only inspiration in music, his grandfather. He and his older brother grew up watching his grandfather play the shamisen and being fascinated by that, wished to become like him someday, and started playing the shamisen from a very young age. Setsu, more so than his brother, was obsessed with his grandfather's style of playing. Reaching to the level of his grandfather was his one and only reason for playing the shamisen. People around him wanted him to play in competitions, even his own brother played in competitions, but Setsu, like his grandfather, was never interested in them. To Setsu, the only thing he ever wanted to achieve by playing on the shamisen was to be on the same level as his grandfather. But his grandfather was getting old by the day, and after his passing, Setsu lost his only source of inspiration for playing the shamisen, and now lacking a sense of direction, he leaves everything behind in Aomori and decided to travel to Tokyo to discover what his sound is and what he wants it to be now that his grandfather is gone. And yeah, even though he initially never wanted to participate in competitions, now that he has no fixed direction where he wants to go, after joining the shamisen appreciation club in his high school, he finally decides to go with the flow and take part in competitions. I'm not going to go that deeply into the main points, of course, because most of them can be very easily spoiled, I feel. But the mature concepts of identity crisis, having a direction, inferiority complex, and deciding when it's finally time to give up on the dream you had all your life, all these are tackled very well. They incorporate these complex topics which almost all of us have felt in some point in our life in such a simplistic way that anyone can relate to it. Characters in Mashiro no Oto are pretty interesting. Yes, you might find people saying they are not the deepest and they don't have much character development, because no shit, they don't. It has only been 7 episodes, dude. But there is a wide range of cast with all sorts of characters. Previously mentioned Setsu's big brother Wakana, who is also a shamisen player and has actually been playing in competitions for years now. Setsu's rich and successful mother, who forcefully enrolled him in the high school in Tokyo. She just radiates pure energy all the time. His club mates with their own different backgrounds. The founder of the club, a girl named Maeda Shuri, who is fascinated by the shamisen and actually wishes to play a song to her grandmother, which she heard long ago. Coincidentally, this is the song that Setsu has always wanted to learn from his grandfather, but his grandfather won't teach him. His impromptu masterpiece, which he mastered after 30 years of playing. There's a conflict going on in Setsu's mind. If he does indeed play the song to Shuri's grandmother, will he be able to play it like she envisioned it would be, or will he disappoint her? In his deathbed, his grandfather told him to not continue playing the shamisen if the only thing he was gonna do was copy others and not find his own music. His grandfather's words stung inside his heart so much that he lost his entire love for the shamisen. This story is basically of how the prodigy of once tries to look past the many struggles he faced and go on a self-discovery journey to learn to relove the shamisen and try to discover the unique sound he lacks. Also, she's precious and should be protected at all costs. And if anyone in the comments has read the manga, please, I beg you, please tell me if she returns later in the manga. I'm not gonna take her name cause it will be a huge spoiler, but you know who I'm talking about. Now, the best part of Mashiro no Oto is out and out its music and its sound design. It's just top notch in every aspect. And as a music anime, you would expect that. But the instrumental consideration here, the Sugaru shamisen, is something you can only see in Sugaru Aomori. I have never heard the shamisen. I knew that it's a traditional Japanese string instrument, but I had never heard it before, and you probably wouldn't have it either. But the first time I heard it was in the show, and it felt different. It felt like it was telling a story instead of just playing the music. There is this otherworldly feeling to it, like the show shows us. I got chills during this, and it made me feel things for some reason which I could not guess. As soon as the music started, it just completely wrapped me in its beautiful sound and everything it reflected. The feeling of the wind rushing by, the warm sunrise on a spring morning, the feeling of silence just before a storm comes, the feeling of freedom. If you just close your eyes while the shamisen plays, you can feel these things just like the characters do. The sound of one's playing can make a huge difference. This anime takes this concept even more literally, the healing power of music and how the shamisen comes to play in that. I'm not gonna say anything more about this or it will be a spoiler, so just watch it for yourself. Apart from the music of the shamisen, the soundtrack is also extremely well done. The animation is also pretty decent. It might feel a bit odd at sometimes, which I'm guessing is because the anime is trying to stay as faithful as possible to the original art style of the manga. But I like the animation, it's clean and it feels real. Also, one other thing I have seen people praising is the voice acting of the show, which we sub-watchers probably won't be able to understand because it has something to do with the dialects. But even we can realize the difference in the accents. The accent Setsu or the other people from Aomori speak is heavier and more stretched out than the normal Tokyo dialect. Also, before going to the conclusion, I have to talk about this scene, where Setsu plays the shamisen and his mother sings. This has become one of my favorite music performances in any anime. Like I said before about the music telling a story instead of just a song, this song is literally a story depicting the 4 seasons of the city of Sugaru through the imagery of an apple, or can also be taken as a metaphor for the various stages of a woman's life, and it is absolutely beautiful. This song is not the kind of song I usually enjoy, but this felt different. This felt special. So all I want to say is, this anime may not be for everyone, but if you are a fan of music, then trust me, you will enjoy this anime a lot. This series explores the real music side, which I haven't seen in quite some time, and it honestly does it really well. Hell, if you just enjoy a story about someone going on a journey of self-discovery, this anime is still for you. 8 episodes are already out, and it's the perfect time to start binging this show. Normally we get about 1 banger performance per episode, but since the tournament arc is going on, we're getting multiple bangers per episode. So give this show a try. Trust me, you'll get invested right away. That's all for today's video, guys. Likes, subscriptions and all the other good stuff is really appreciated. So I'll see you in the next one. Peace.